Hello, hello, hello. How are you guys doing this evening? Happy Monday. What's going on? Okay, so we're sitting in here tonight. I have all my videos are already posted. I filmed 4 other videos besides this. They're all posted. They're all up. I don't have any work to do here in front of the computer. But it's so dark outside already that Alex is gone. He went to dinner. So I was like, you know what? I think I'm just going to sit inside and film tonight. I almost filmed upstairs in the bedroom, but I was like, I think I'm just going to sit in front of the computer in case I want to look up anything on the computer. Then I have the Google right here. So yeah, and I'm going to get my area fixed right here because I literally just got done posting the videos. I just posted my haul that I did on my Peter Does Stuff channel. And just poured the last remnants of the iced coffee bottle that I have. I have 2 more bottles in there, but this is my very first sip of coffee for the whole day. And it is currently 6:18 p.m. Can you believe it? 6:18 p.m. and I am just getting started on the coffee. But I also don't want to drink too much of it because I do want to walk tonight. And when I walk, if I have to go to the bathroom, it shortens my walks. I know I could just come back and go to the bathroom and then go back out again, but I typically don't do that. Once I've like made my way back here, I'm kind of done for the night. So yeah, I'm texting with Caroline too because she's asking me, she has something that she has to do on Wednesday, which is where she has to go about 45 minutes away from here. And so she's like, do you want to go with me? And then we can run errands afterwards. Or she's like, do you want to just skip on Wednesday? And so I'm kind of trying to, oh, here's my pedometer. I wonder where I put it. I've not been using the pedometer the last couple days because I find that the phone is actually more correct than the pedometer, which is weird. But anyway, I'm trying to decide if, I just asked her, I said, what time are you thinking? Because it might just be, I don't really have a lot of errands to run this week. I'm trying to think through, I mean, anything, Alex can just run me to the grocery store if I need anything, but I don't really have anything that I need to do this week. I actually was making a list the other day, hold on a second, of stuff that I have to do with Caroline. And did I put something on there? If there's something that I absolutely have to do. Oh, I want to buy, well, I can buy these online. I want to buy 2 buckets. I'm trying to figure out a better way to keep the ferns in the bathroom this year. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to get 2 buckets, like paint buckets. And then I'm going to put like, we have bricks out back. And then I'm going to like put a brick that they can sit like on the brick in the bucket. And then I can just like, once I water them, I can just like empty them out, you know, does that make sense? So anyway, so they can like be sitting up, so like they can be all like fluffing out over it. Because last year I put Fernalicious like on this table, which I ended up throwing that table away because it was so damaged. But it was on this table on the plastic bucket. So our bathtub does not work. So or I would just keep her in the bathtub and then I would just like water or whatever, but the drain doesn't work in there because we had a leak years ago and we don't use the bathtub. So, because we've been planning to get the bathroom redone forever. And so I was like, okay, well a bucket would be the easier because then I could just like empty it into the shower or into the sink. And also, if the bucket is like, I'm gonna light this candle in a second. If the bucket is like here, and she's sitting, like if you put the brick underneath it, and she's sitting on the brick, then the top of her will be able to come out. That was part of the problem last year, was that she kind of got stuck in between the other 2 plants, which, interestingly enough, are still growing on the back patio. My neighbor is kind of interested in those. She doesn't want to do the ferns. Somebody said the other day, I thought your neighbor was going to keep the ferns. Well, now it's become this huge thing because she's like, well, ferns have to be hung. And I'm like, well, Farrah's not hung. She's sitting down there. She's like, I just don't know that I have a lot of room. And she's like, I know I said that I would do it. I'm like, don't worry about it. I'll just keep them in the bathroom myself. It'll give me something to do. She's like, are you sure? I'm like, yes, don't worry about it. In all honesty, like, if B. Radley hadn't passed away, I know this isn't going to make any sense, but I probably would have just, like, pitched him and been like, we'll just start over with new ferns next year, because I get so attached to stuff. But I was like, you know what? I said this the other day in a vlog, and I know some people are probably like, that's crazy. But I was like, it'll give me something to care for through the winter. So, I know they're just 2 plants, but it'll give me something to care for. Plus, I'm hoping that, like, Fernalicious towards the end of this year, she started getting a little bit better in the back. She never really fully repaired. So I'm hoping that over the winter, I can, like, continue to turn her. And then, like, by the next spring, I mean, we're only talking at this point now, December, January, February, March, and then I can put her back out there. So it's 4 months of her having to be in the bathroom. I'm hoping that by next spring, she'll be, like, fuller in the back. So I can work on her a little bit while she's in the bathtub. I can work on her and Farrah and try to, well, Farrah's still doing great. I got Farrah at Trader Joe's, and she's still doing fantastic. So anyway, why was I thinking about that? I don't know, but anyway, I don't even remember how I got to that. Oh, Caroline. Oh, pots that I have to, that's the only thing I have to get. So I was going to go to like Menards or Home Depot or something and get like pots, like those, you know, that you keep like paint pots or paint buckets is what I was going to do. But I can get those online too. So I don't really have any errands to run on Wednesday. I mean, it would be nice to get out of the house for a little bit. But that also is like, I haven't been filming that much on the weekends. And so that would be like a day that I could like film on Wednesday. So I don't know. It's going to kind of have a lot to do. She's like, I have to be there for like 2 hours. And I'll probably be like, no, I'm not going to. Then I can just get up later and I can do stuff around the house. So, and then we can just do it next week. So yeah, so Alex went out to dinner with his, and she just texted me back. Let's ask her how long she has to be there. So Alex went to, oh, she's texting me right back. The problem is it's like 45 minutes there and it's like 45 minutes back. Like the ride, I would love the ride. Because just to like get out of here for a little while. But the problem is it's an hour and a half. So even if we just did that, I also don't want to be an inconvenience to her. So if it's going to be like a huge inconvenience to her, I'll just let her do her thing. So Alex went out to dinner with his, a bunch of people tonight. But 3 of his like closest girlfriends for something special for one of his girlfriends. But I can't say what yet. So, but I'll tell you tomorrow what that is. So he should not be gone too late. Dinner, he said they were meeting for drinks at 6:30 and then they were going to dinner at 7:15. So dinner will probably be over about 9:15 or 9:30 and they won't be going out anywhere afterwards. So he'll probably be home by like 9:30 or 10. I am really excited about this evening because I'm really excited to take my walk and I am really excited to listen to my audiobook, and I'm really excited to come back, take a shower, and watch some TV. Last night, I had a really, really nice night. Did that text go through? Or is she still texting me? Well, she was 3-dotting it for a while, and then it stopped. Oh, I want to light this candle. So this was one of the candles that Andrea sent me. The other one I lit outside, and I love. So I'm saving a couple of them, because a couple of them are like, I should just burn them already, but they're like very Christmassy smells. There's one called Cozy Home or something, and I love the smell of it. This is the Bewitched one. What's the scent on here? It smells kind of like kettle corn. Cursed Caramel Spooky Popcorn. Yeah, this is the one. So I trimmed the wick. So the wick is over there. These candles are so nice that she sent me. And they are from Ebony and Ivory Candle Company, which is from Canada. And they are fantastic. I love these candles. So if I sit in here and Alex isn't home, I'm going to burn a little candle. I'm going to text Caroline and be like, I'd love to get out of the house, but I don't want to be inconvenienced. Oh wait, she's texting me back. She said she has to pick up a couple of pillows. She's like, I could pick you up at 1:30 instead and then you wouldn't have to go. I thought you might like to drive. And I said, yeah, I like to go. I just don't want to be an inconvenience. So we'll see what she says. It'd be nice to get out of the house for a little bit. Plus, I don't have that much to do, and if I get back and, you know, end up just vlogging, I'll just vlog that day, and if I end up, you know, doing more than that, then I'll do more than that. But it'll be nice to get out of the house for a little bit on Wednesday. So, but tonight, I cannot wait to take my walk, like I said, and then watch my shows. Last night I had a really, really nice night. What was last night? Sunday? So, you know, there's so much that I share on video, but there is also a lot that, you know, I've said on here before that I have like several really close friends of mine that are in recovery that I've like never mentioned their name ever. I mean, like really like closest friends is Tanya, that I've never ever mentioned in a video because they want to stay completely anonymous and things like that, right? But there's so much that I don't talk about, like phone calls and things that happen and middle of the night, you know, shenanigans of like, you know, helping people and whatever. Last night was one of those nights, and very late at night, and just such a hilarious comedy of errors. You know, one of the things that we say is that we are not a glum lot, and I just wish I could share some of these stories with you and just give you guys an inside picture, some of you out there that don't know anything about recovery, to like just what that life looks like. And it's not just, I mean, I think that on the outside looking in, sometimes if you don't know, it's like meetings and constantly talking about sobriety, and it's not so much about the interactions and the relationships and stuff like that, that like literally at like 1:30 in the morning, my phone started going off like crazy last night. And it was like this comedy of errors of all this stuff happening, and that's really all I can say. But it just was like, it was just a crazy night last night. A fun crazy night, but it was just a crazy night. But anyway, when all that stuff got done, about 3:30, well, before that I had watched some shows. So I did end up walking last night. So when I got done vlogging and getting all that stuff up, I don't even remember what I did last night, but anyway, here's my list. So my walking list. So last week I actually walked 5 nights out of 7. So I'm very proud of myself. Last night I walked for 1 hour and 1 minute. Here's my list for this week that I made, but I haven't, because I haven't walked yet today. So I ended up walking last night. I'm trying to think of, Alex and I, so we really talked last night about the possibility of going on a trip. We were really looking at, like, the week of Thanksgiving was one of the options we looked at. We looked at, like, the first week of December. We looked at, like, January. We looked at several different, like, places possibly we could go to. We looked at the Dominican Republic. We looked at Aruba. We looked at all these trips. And then we were like, or do we want to start, like, do we want to get, I mean, we would both love to get away. And we have savings and stuff like that, but it's like at the same time, we want to do like, we want to start next year, like be the year. I mean, we've been putting it off for so many years to really start doing the remodel to this house. What Caroline suggested was that like as a realtor, she was like talking to us about it, that like in 2025 doing the basement. So, I mean, and these are not simple remodels. I mean, these are remodels. Like the basement's going to be, I mean, it could be, the basement is completely unfinished. So we're putting a bathroom in there. We're putting a drywall. We're completely repositioning the staircase. We're making the bathroom separate with the laundry room being separate. I mean, it's going to be a major rehaul. It's not like a $5,000 remodel. It's like a lot of remodel. So we've been saving money for that, and we need to continue to save money for that. So what Caroline said was do the basement first. Because that way also, when the rest of the house is being done, like let's say if it takes a month to 3 months for them to do something else, then I can work in the basement. Like I can film in the basement or whatever, right? Then we'll also have another bathroom, like with a full shower and stuff like that, that once, like if we're getting the bathroom upstairs done, because we only have one full bathroom in the house. So like when we redo the bathroom upstairs in the bedroom, then we'll have the bathroom downstairs. That way we can take showers and all that kind of stuff. So we don't have to rely just on that bathroom upstairs. So the basement will be the first thing. So there's like 4 or 5 main areas that we want to do. We want to redo the kitchen, but really like the cabinetry, we just want it painted and we want the hardware fixed. And then we want the countertops completely redone. So that's not like a huge redo, right? And then the bedroom and the living room down here, there was like some major stuff that we were looking at, but like reconstruction wise, like as far as like how the condo is built, we can't do it. Like Alex wanted to take out this wall. We can't do that. It's like, I don't know what that's called, but like a stable wall. It's like holding up other parts. So we can't do that. Because if you wanted to make this whole area like all open. So we want to redo the kitchen. We want to redo the bathroom down here. But really all that we have to do with that is like paint the bathroom, like the mirror, put in a new toilet, new vanity, and stuff like that. That's not a huge one. So it's the kitchen, the bathroom down here, and then we want to redo the master bedroom closet. Like we want to have like a really nice closet put in, and then we want to redo the bathroom. So the basement and the bathroom are like the two major things, because we want to put in like a huge shower, like walk-in shower, not with like a door, but where you like, you know what I mean? Have the walk-in closet in the bathroom taken out and all that kind of stuff. And so it's going to be this real open concept. I mean, it already is bathroom, but like have it can be completely different. So the basement and the bathroom are the two huge things. So what Caroline said is, she said, do the basement first, that'll be 2025. She was like, and then while you're doing that, save money for 2026. And so then in 2026, do the bathroom. And she was like, then you'll have the entire bathroom. You'll have 2 bathrooms when that's done. And she's like, then your bathroom is done. She said, then in 2027, she said, do the downstairs bathroom and do the kitchen in 2027. And she said, then in 2028, when all of those rooms are done, have them come in, because we want all the flooring redone. Have all the floor, we want all hardwoods except for, well, it's a new kind of hardwood that Caroline said that everybody gets. I don't know what it's called. It's not like, it's not real hardwoods, but it's where you can like mop them and stuff like that. We went all that through the whole house, downstairs, upstairs, except for like the bathrooms, obviously. But then we went like a very like short carpet on the stairs. That's it. Caroline said you could get a runner, but she was like, for if you ever do, I mean, our plan is not to resell this place, but she was like, the resale value on having wood stairs, she was like, it's hard unless it's like a cabin. She was like, especially for older people, they're going to buy it. She was like, so have carpet on the stairs. So that one, but the painting, like the painting of the house, like, and then, so that would be, so 2025 would be the basement. 2026 would be the bathroom. 2027 would be the bathroom downstairs in the kitchen. And then 2028 would be all the flooring and all the painting in the whole condo. And then by the end of 2028, the condo would be completely redone the way that we want it to be done. That's our plan. And then in 2029, start looking for a new place. Well, to do that, I mean, we have a lot of savings, but we don't have unlimited savings. And so, especially to buy a new place and to do that. So to do all that, we have to start saving some money. So, we were going through everything last night. To be honest with you, to travel in the end of November, beginning of December is really not an expensive time to travel. I was kind of surprised. Flights are cheaper to go to these places and stuff like that. But then Alex was like, well, I think maybe like we should really put the money, you know, in our like savings for like fixing up the house and whatever, and start taking a trip and then just focus on March. So we kind of, we talked through that and kind of threw out the idea of taking a trip. Like, well, threw it out. We talked about it, but we were really looking up stuff, and then we were just kind of like, no, let's not do that. So after we talked about that, I was like, okay. I was like, let's just, like, you know, I mean, we have so many plans and we've like discussed this stuff forever and whatever. And so we were talking about maybe taking like a weekend trip. The problem with taking like a weekend trip, okay? Like if we were going to do a weekend trip to go to like, let's say Las Vegas, or even just to go to Chicago, to drive to Chicago for the weekend, right? With hotels and dinner and shopping, no, it's not going to be like going to the Dominican Republic. But in all honesty, going to the Dominican Republic for like 5 days it's not as expensive as you would think it would be. And so to go to Chicago or Las Vegas, to go to Las Vegas for 3 days would probably be more expensive than to go to the Dominican Republic for 5 days or 7 days. So to go to Chicago for a weekend is like a third or a half of what we would pay to go to Dominican Republic. Well, would you rather go to Chicago for a weekend or sit on the beach in the Dominican Republic? So then it's like, well, then let's just not take any trips until March. And that's kind of where we're at. I mean, next spring and summer will be heavy. Alex is like, he's planning a girls trip with the 3 of the girls that he's out to dinner with tonight. They're going to go to Mexico for like 4 or 5 days. I'll probably do like a girls trip with like Nikki, Tanya, Mel, somebody like that. And then when Jesse and Fufu have their baby, we're going to go to San Diego for probably a couple days or a week to go see them. And then we have in March, and then we'll do a birthday trip and then our anniversary trip. And then after, I mean, we haven't even talked about the anniversary trip. If we don't do an anniversary trip, I'll get a dog probably earlier in the summer. But right now I'm looking at late summer, early fall, because I want to be able to have, you know, a dog for a couple months before we're going to go anywhere. So at least that's the plan right now. But last night, so, okay, we talked about all that kind of stuff, and then Alex was like watching the show. He started some new show, some Spanish show. I don't even know what it is. He was real into it. And he was like, I'm not going to stay up late tonight. I'm going to go to bed. And I said, okay. So I said, well, I think I'm going to take a walk. Because remember, I wasn't going to walk last night, and I was like, no, I really want to walk. Well, I really wanted to start this, the new Laura Dave book. And she's the one that wrote The Last Thing He Told Me. And her new book is called, it's Peter's book club book for October. And it's called, hold on a second, The Night We Lost Him. And I have 2 hours and 10 minutes left. I listened to like an hour and a half of it last night. The whole time I was walking, I listened to it. Caroline listened to it and she said she was really confused. She didn't really understand it at all. And I listened to it last night. I listened to like an hour of it. I walked for like an hour. I mean, as soon as I left the house, I started listening to it. I loved it. I thought it was great. It's completely different than The Last Thing He Told Me. If you didn't read the book, there's an Apple series about it that's fantastic with Jennifer Garner. It's very similar to the book, but this is completely different. This is about these people and like all these brothers and sisters that have the same dad but different moms, and their dad's like real rich and then he dies, but like did he just die natural? Like he falls, and did he fall or was he murdered? And so it's all about that. It kind of reminds me of a Liam Moriarty book a little bit, which one of like her new book just came out. Tanya read it already. She said it was good. So I'm going to be reading that next. Well, the next book that I'm going to read after I finish this is going to be the Paula Hawkins book, which was the November book for Peter's Book Club. Then I'm completely caught up with Peter's Book Club. And then I'm going to read the True Crime Book Club well, I'll probably read that closer to when we do the True Crime Book Club. But then I'm caught up, except for there was like 2 or 3 cozy mystery books that I announced like a month ago. So I'm going to go in and read those. Last night, late at night, I started making a book of Christmas books that I want to read. So if you guys have Christmas thrillers Christmas mysteries or thrillers, let me know. I've already started making a Christmas list. I'll Be Home for Mischief is the Jacqueline Frost, the Christmas tree. And I told Nikki last night she needs to order these. She got them from the library already. She got on the list. But they're the Christmas Tree Farm Mysteries. The 4th one is coming out November 12th, and it's called I'll Be Home for Mischief. It's the only one I haven't read. Then the Christmas Tree Farm. Has anybody read those books? Like the first one is called, I bought the first one last night, actually, on Audible. Because I've seen them all over the place. They're not cozy mysteries. They're like romances. The Pumpkin Spice Cafe by Lori Gilmore. And then the second one is called like the Cinnamon Bun Hotel or something. The third one is called The Christmas Tree Farm. Has anybody read these? Apparently they're huge on like Book Talk. Anyway, so I put that one down. And then Murder on the Christmas Express. I was going to read that last year and I didn't read it. And then The Most Wonderful Crime of the Year. I actually bought that last night too. It sounds really good. Listen to this. Just came out this year. The Most Wonderful Crime of the Year. Knives Out gets a holiday rom-com twist in the rivals to lovers romance mystery from New York Times bestselling author Allie Carter. The bridge is out, the phones are down, and the most famous mystery writer in the world just disappeared out of a locked room 2 days before Christmas. So then it goes on and talks about all that kind of stuff. I think it sounds really good. But I'm looking for any mystery thrillers. What was the book that I told Nikki last night to get? Because it's like one of my favorite young adult. It doesn't even read like young adult. The Afterlife of Holly Chase by Cynthia Hand. It's so good, you guys. It's about this girl, and she's like 17, and she's real rich, and her mom has like passed away, and she doesn't really see her dad. Like her dad's rich, and she's like coming out of a Pilates class. I can't remember how she dies. She slips on something. Like I think it's like a banana peel or something stupid. But anyway, the book is not stupid. The book is really well thought out and well done. But anyway, she becomes one of the ghosts of Christmas past. Like for this production, she's dead, but she does this production. They do this production every year, and like they do one. It's like really like if like, you know, Scrooge really existed and that was really a thing, and then she's like one of the ghosts of Christmas past, and she's bitter about doing it, but it's like what she learned through the process. It's one of the most fantastic books, not just Christmas books that I've ever read. So I went on my walk last night. My walk was really nice. I could have walked a lot longer, but I just kind of wanted to get back home and get comfy and stuff like that. So I came home. Alex was still watching that show, and so I was like, well, I'm gonna go upstairs and take a shower. So I went upstairs and I took a shower and got my pajamas on, and then I can't remember what time I got back here. It wasn't super late, because Alex asked me if I wanted to watch a movie. And he said, he was like going through like these rom-coms. He did this on Saturday night too. He's going through like these rom-coms. I was like, I don't want to watch one of these rom-com things. He's like, well, what do you want to watch? And I was like, well, I want to watch, hold on a second. I got to go into my weekly list because I did watch. So I'm totally caught up on Matlock. So last night I watched. I don't remember what I watched before. I laid down and I took a nap last night. When I got up from my nap, I watched Sister Wives and I took notes on that. And then I watched From, which apparently comes out like, because when I was talking to Tanya last night, she was like, oh, I watch From. And I said, it doesn't even come out. And that was when I got back from my walk. Oh, that's what I did. I talked on the phone. And to Tanya for a long time. And I was like, it hasn't even come out yet. She goes, no, it comes out like the day of on whatever that it's on, MGM or whatever. So I watched Sister Wives, I watched From, then the insanity, the recovery insanity ensued. Alex just texted me. I already have a feeling I know what this is going to be. Hold on, I got to turn the volume down. It's a video. Yep. Aww. So Alex's friend's boyfriend proposed to her tonight, or should I say fiance proposed to her tonight. That was what they were all going for dinner. He had like her family, his family, and then it's like her closest friends came as well. That's why it wasn't spouses, because it was like this, all the family, and then like just the closest friends. And so so Alex just sent me the video of him proposing to her. That's so sweet. I really love them as a couple. Oh, that was so sweet. I love that. I can't wait to hear all about it when he comes home. So, where was I talking about? Oh, then the insanity of the recovery night last night ensued, and the 9 million phone calls and all. It was. I was telling Tanya last night when we were talking, I was like, this totally reminds me of like early days in recovery. She's like, right? I was like, this is so funny. I mean, it was nothing bad. It was just like, it wasn't anybody like, abusing or desperate or anything. It was just funniness of like, it just reminded me of early days in recovery and like, I don't know, it was fun. It was a fun night last night for recovery. So, but then after all that, got settled again, and I got caught up and I watched the 5th episode of Matlock, so I'm completely caught up on Matlock. I'm loving that show. Speaking of recovery, the show is a lot about recovery. This week's episode really specifically was a lot about an addict that relapsed after getting out of jail and stuff like that. It was really, really good. So if you don't know the premise of the show, like, they don't tell it till the end of the first episode, but this won't ruin it, so I don't want to ruin it for anybody. So it's about this woman, and her name is Maddie Matlock, but that's not really who she is. Her name is really Madeline Kingston, and she's been an attorney for a long time. She goes to work for this law firm, and she acts like she doesn't know anything. She acts like her husband's died, and she's trying to raise her grandchild. That's not really the story at all. She's really super wealthy, and she lives out in the middle of nowhere. The reason why she started working at this law firm was that her daughter had died of an overdose. And apparently, this law firm, like, protected Big Pharma. Like opioid companies and things like that. So she's trying to get the redacted information of like trying to find out who was the one that protected the pharmaceutical companies, because she believes that if they hadn't protected that pharmaceutical company, then her daughter wouldn't have died. And so she's basically seeking vengeance is what she's doing. So she's working at the law firm to try to like find out information about who in the law firm protected. You don't really know the whole story yet of how her daughter died. You just know her daughter died of an overdose, and she and her husband are raising a grandson. But so that's the backstory that you don't find out till the very end of the first episode. So I'm not ruining anything for you past the first episode. But then each episode is her working with this team in the law firm doing a case. That's like the backstory. The main story is that each episode's a different case. So I'm caught up on that. It's fantastic. It's really, really well done. I really, really like it. And what I like about it too is that they show a lot of generational stuff, like where Kathy Bates will say something that maybe would have been acceptable in her generation, but today it's like they side-eye her and stuff like that. And so it's a lot about her kind of learning about things. It's a lot of like, she works with these two younger people. It's a lot about them teaching her like how we've grown and changed and learned new things about how we treat people in the world and how we talk to people. But at the same time, it's her teaching them about the core values and morals and things like that. Like there's a lot of talk about like balancing work and home and love life and things like that. It's really a sweet show. I really like it. It's a great mystery show. And then I went back and I started watching Elsbeth, and I watched 2 episodes of Elsbeth and I stayed up way too late. I'm so in love with that show. So I think I just have episodes 9 and 10, and then I'm done with the first season of Elsbeth. I think that's where I'm at on it. Hold on a second. Yeah, I have 9 and 10, and then I'm done with the first season of Elsbeth. So tonight, I have... Dragula is the only thing that I have, and it comes on at midnight tonight. So that's the only thing that I have on tonight. I love Dragula. Dragula is so... The battery stopped. Or the camera stopped at 30 minutes. So I got Dragula tonight at midnight. I don't really have anything to wake up for tomorrow. Oh, you know what? Do I have therapy tomorrow? I should probably check that. I think I do have therapy tomorrow. Hold on a second. I do have therapy. I have therapy tomorrow at 2. So I have that to wake up for. I'm glad I looked. I would have totally forgotten about that. It's the only thing in my calendar. Therapy. So I have therapy tomorrow at 2. But if I wake up at like 12... So I don't know what I'm going through. Like, I was asking myself today, do you ever like ask yourself all these questions? I'm like, are you going through burnout? Because I'm not like, I really struggle with the idea of like, you know when you hear people like online, like YouTubers and influencers, and they go, I feel like I'm going through burnout, right? Like, burnout was when I was working, 50 hours a week and taking 15 credit hours of classes and had a 40-hour-a-week internship. And I was also in a relationship and lived with my best friend as well and had no time to see them and was trying to see my mom 2 to 3 times a week, plus go to 3 meetings a week and work steps. Like, that was burnout. You know what I mean? Burnout is friends of mine that are raising, 3 and 4 kids, going to stand on their feet to work at night when somebody else is taking care of their kids, and they're standing on their feet all night long and not getting home until 1 o'clock in the morning and being able to rest from 1 to 2 before they have to go to bed because they have to be back up in the morning at 6 a.m. So they're getting 4 hours of sleep before they have to start it all over again. Like, that's burnout to me, Burnout to me is parents that are married but missing each other like ships in the night because one works during the day and the other one works at night, and they have to raise the kids and put food on the table, but they both have to work. Burnout to me is taking care of a grandparent or a parent while taking care of your own life at the same time and being a caregiver. I don't know that I think that that burnout is filming a video every 8 or 9 days and claiming that you have burnout, because, that's called being blessed. That's not being burnout. But I'm struggling when I get up every day with really feeling motivated to get started. Once I get started, I'm pretty good. Like, once I get started, I'm like, okay, I'm good, right? But it's the period of getting up to then getting motivated. Like, one of the reasons why I haven't been drinking coffee until later is because I do my prayers and meditations in the morning, but if I sit out there too long and drink coffee and just kind of like listen to music or audiobook, I'm done for the day. Like, I'm just going to film a vlog and I'm going to walk for 3 hours. Like, I'm kind of done. And so I have to kind of get right into it. Like, today I got up, I did my prayers and meditations, I brushed my teeth, I washed my face, and then I started filming videos. Because I'm like, if I don't, then I'm not going to get anything accomplished today. So I'm like making the bed, washing my face, put a load of wash in, I got to go down there and put it in the dryer. Talking to my neighbors out front, stuff like that. If I don't do that stuff, I don't like... But I was sitting today and I was like, are you burnt out? Is that like what you're going? It doesn't feel like that. It just feels like I'm lacking motivation when I get up. And let's just be for real, right? Like, I have a blessed job. It's not like my job is difficult at all. I get to film videos about, I did a whipped cream review today. I sat there and did a haul for 15 minutes of Christmas bedding, candles, and stuff like that. I read Sheila Wood Friendship Club personal ads on my drama video. And then I did, what else did I do? Oh, I read notes on I got to watch a TV show and do a video about sister wives, which that was like, I think that was the first video that I did to kind of get me inspired because I already had the notes for that. What fun. Like, that is such a fun day, right? It's not about that. It's like I'm really struggling to feel, like, I woke up today and I was like, I don't know that I want to walk. I don't even know if I want to vlog tonight. Like, I literally just wanted to kind of sit in a chair. I'm not really anybody that has I wouldn't say that I haven't had like episodic depression before. I'm just kind of talking out loud right now when I say this, okay? I wouldn't say that I haven't had like episodic depression where I'm going through something, right? Where I'm depressed because I'm going through a situation. And maybe that's what's going on right now with Boo Radley recently passing away and other stuff, you know, going on in the world and in my life and things like that. I mean, our marriage is good. I have a home. I have friends and family that I love. I don't even, to be honest with you, like feel like an overwhelming sense of doom or sadness. I just don't. I mean, I'm somebody that lives a lot. I try to in hope and gratitude and prayer, you know, and try not to borrow a lot of trouble. But I have to do a lot of work to do that. I just don't know. It's like, it really started, I would say 2 weeks. I think it really was a lot of the like being on the schedule of taking care of Boo Radley, and then it just was gone. I think it was the getting used to the schedule. And it wasn't just like we had to give him his medicine 3 times a day. It was like we had to take him out like 20 times a day. And the pacing and the walking. And then it was like I got used to that. And then all of a sudden it was just gone. And I don't really know yet how to be used to. I mean, it was like weird. Like Alex left for work this morning. And you know, Boo Radley, like he'd carry him downstairs, give him his medicine, bring him back up, like after I took him outside, bring him back upstairs, give him a little treat. Boo Radley would, this is before he got sick, Boo Radley would eat his treat and then he would like circle in the bed and then we'd like curl up right next to Alex's pillow and then I would like pet him a little bit and we would both go back to bed. There's just so many differences about every little thing. You know, it's like when I film a video in the bedroom, like if he wasn't in the bedroom, like when I would open those white doors, like I had his little blanket and his bed and everything and he would sleep out on the landing. And so as soon as I would open those doors, he'd perk up his head and I'd be like, you wanna go potty, Boo Radley? And we'd go outside. Every time I open those doors, I remember that. I don't know, it's just kind of like, I feel like I'm doing okay with the grieving. Like I have a couple moments throughout the day where I feel kind of sad. I don't feel like I can't move on through it. Like I know that I'm gonna be okay. I mean, what can I do about it? You know what I mean? It happened, you know, and I'm sad about it and Alex is sad about it, but life goes on, you know? And I think that I'm just lacking, I don't know. I think I need to find I need to find a routine to my life, you know? I need to find, like in my head right now, I'm thinking back to like, okay, like, you know, before the accident, I would get up, take Boo Radley out, do my prayers, meditations, all that kind of stuff, brush my teeth, I would put on clothes, and I would go out, and I would go get a coffee, okay? And usually when I got a coffee, I would do a review, like at Starbucks, or I would do a review somewhere. And then I would go to like Richie Woods, or I would go buy something, and I would do a Peter Does Stuff video. So by the time that I came back home, I already had 2 videos done. Then I would like run around, I'd go look to buy stuff, I'd go to Half Price Books, I go to Dollar Tree or whatever, and then I'd come home. And then I would film a drama video. And then that would be 3 videos that I'd film. And then I'd film a Peterisms video. Why did this computer just go out? Hold on a second. And then I would film a Peterisms video, you know? And then that would be later in the day, I'd take a nap, and then late at night, I would go out and I would vlog. I had a routine. Well, that routine changed. So before Boo Radley got sick, I had a routine too, you know, where I would get up and I would, you know, take him out and do this, and then I would have like a drama video. I'd film my drama video, I'd take him out. You know, by the time that Alex got home, you know, I was ready to vlog or whatever. I don't know. I feel like him not being here has completely changed I don't know if this is making sense at all, but it's the only thing I can come up with because I feel sad, but I don't necessarily feel, and I do feel like I know the difference. I don't feel depressed. And I also, like several times throughout the day, I feel very happy. Like I was talking about last night, like with all my friends in recovery, like, I mean, it was hilarious, bliss, right? And so, and I have moments throughout the day where I'm making videos and I laugh. So there are moments of happiness too. It's the in-between moments that I find myself not really knowing what to do with myself, you know? Alex is somebody that is very good, like when he's here, like just laying in bed and like watching a show or any show. can be an old episode of Gossip Girl, or it can be some show. You can just flip through the channels. I cannot do that. Like, I have to even have a purpose with watching my TV shows. I always have. And so it's the in-between periods that I don't really know what to do with, that I'm struggling with. But when I'm waking up in the morning now, like I woke up today and I just was kind of like, I don't want to take a walk. And I was really excited last night about going to bed. I had such a great night last night. You know, after I was done with everything and I sat down and I watched, you know, last episode of Matlock and Elsbeth, and I had all the candles lit, made a cup of tea and all kind of stuff. You know, it was really nice. I went to bed. I was so cozy last night when I went to bed. I mean, it was a really nice night last night. And then I woke up today and I just felt like I was real excited last night when I went to bed. I was like, I'm going to film all these videos tomorrow, and I'm going to take a walk, and I'm going to get back to this book, because I really like this book. And then I woke up today, and I just was kind of like, I don't know. Like, I don't want to walk. I didn't really even feel like filming any videos. And that was when I was like, you got to just start filming something, because if you don't. And then I did, and then it was like, it got me out of that, right? I don't know. Maybe that's something I need to talk to my therapist about tomorrow, because I don't really know what's going on. I don't really know what it is, you know? I don't know that. I don't know. I don't know. But I don't know, like, like if you said to me, do you feel burnout on making videos? I mean, I've had people ask me this. I've had other, like, YouTubers ask me that. In the last several years, we've talked about it on numerous occasions. And I'm like, I don't really get that idea of like, I don't feel that. Like, I don't feel like I don't want to make a video. I sometimes feel like I don't want to do anything today. Not even watch a TV show. Sometimes I feel like I just want to sit here all day long and just sleep in bed. But I don't ever feel like I don't want to not do this ever again. Like, I love it, right? I feel like I've talked to a lot of people through the years, and some of them are still making YouTube videos, where there was a period where it changed for them, where they started it because they couldn't not do it, or they were real. And I don't know, a lot of people that I know that started it, they started it because they always wanted to turn it into a business. That was never it for me, you know? I'm savvy and smart enough that if I wanted to be more business-minded with all of this, I could be. I mean, I've sat across from people that have spreadsheets and, you know, I mean, I've never really, there's so much that I don't do that I could do, that it's not about that to me. It's just about doing it because I love to do it. I mean, I just love to do it, right? So I don't feel burnt out. You know what it is? I don't feel burnt out on filming videos. I just kind of feel burnt out on my life right now a little bit. Like, and I'm not saying that like in a really, I just feel like it just was a lot at this. Like, I think like that period of Boo being sick and then him passing away. You know, Caroline and I talk a lot about this. Like, I think sometimes when people or things pass away, especially when you've taken care of them for a long time, that you think that there's going to be this feeling of relief that comes afterwards. Like with my mom. As sad as I was when my mom passed, there was a part of me that was like, I didn't know how much longer I could do going to the hospital every single day. Like, I didn't know if I could do it for another year or two. I didn't know that I could, you know? And it also started off being like 10 people going to the hospital on a regular basis. And then by the end, it was just kind of like me and my aunt. And so there was a relief that came with it. And I can remember feeling guilty about that and talking to people and people normalizing that for me and being like, oh no, I felt the same way, you know? You don't want them to suffer, but you also, it's like, you can't continue to do that for the rest of your life. I can remember my aunt saying to me, she wouldn't want this for you. Your mom would not want this for you to spend years on end coming to visit her every day in the hospital. She was like, this is not the life that she wanted for you. I can remember her saying that to me afterwards. And I don't know, but like, I think to some degree, being all in that with Boo Radley, I think I felt like at the very end, there will be some relief that I feel, but I don't. I think that's one of the things that's the most surprising to me, is that it was almost like the caretaking gave me a purpose. Which now that that's gone, I think maybe I question a little bit. So then what's my next big thing in life? Which I don't know, maybe that seems like it's kind of small to say that my purpose for a while was taking care of this little dog, but it did feel like a big purpose, you know, that get him through a day without having a seizure, get him through a day where he's not pacing as much and he's comfortable and whatever. But it was a sense of purpose for me, especially being at home here all day along with him, you know, and, you know, Alex checking in and all that kind of stuff. And now it's like, okay, well, you make videos on all your channels and you do all this kind of stuff. And like for a while, I kind of felt like maybe it was like, because, you know, I've been outlining all these books. I've been working on books. There's one that I'm working on right now and whatever. But it just, that doesn't feel like it to me. I don't know how to explain it. That doesn't feel like what it's supposed to be to me. The happiest I am is in the very small moments in my life. The happiest I am is like when I'm walking and listening to my audiobook. When Alex and I are laying in bed laughing together. When I'm on the phone talking to Tanya. When I'm sitting in that chair and I'm watching my iPad late at night with all the candles lit. And I've been using the wax melter in the kitchen and stuff like that. Drinking coffee or tea. When I'm sitting there filming a video and I start laughing about something so stupid about Cody Brown from Sister Wives, you know, or right now sitting here filming. These are the happiest moments in my life. So I don't know. I feel like all of my life, like ever since, you know, high school, I came out. And like that was such a huge deal for me, right? Like getting comfortable in my own skin. It's like I told Tanya the other day, we were talking about, you know, like gay rights and stuff. And I said, I feel like I have been fighting, and this isn't about what's going on with me right now, but I said, I feel like I've been fighting since like first grade for people to just see me as they see everybody else. Like since first grade. I mean, like since sixth grade. I'm tired of fighting, you know? It's just, it gets old after a while. But I think that like after high school, but that's not really what I feel like in this moment. I mean, I have felt that for the last 10 years, you know? I mean, we don't talk about, like, when we talk about, like, gay marriage, we don't just talk about marriage. Very few people do. Like, they do see a difference, whether they want to act like they do or not. You know, it's like it's always been, like, on the outside, you know? It's like, oh, that's pure, he's gay, you know? Or he's married to a man. You know, it's always that. It's like, instead of just me being just Peter. You know what I mean? I don't know. But I think that when I first came out, it was a lot about, like, me... Like that 18-year period was me feeling comfortable with myself, and I didn't feel comfortable with myself, and I felt like people had stolen my story, and I had all these conflicting ideas, plus I was in the middle of my addiction. Then I got sober, and at, you know, 22 and a half, and then the next 2-3 years was about me just getting sober and starting to work in a treatment facility. And going back to school and getting my bachelor's degree. And then that was the focus. That was up that mountain that I was climbing. Then after that, it was getting into the master's program. And then I was in the master's program. And then after that, it was this. And it was like always this goal and that goal. And then it was being a relationship, being a long-term relationship, being this. And now it's like, I have the home. I have the husband. We're good. The home's good. I mean, yeah, I want to like, yeah, it's like a dream of mine to like redo the house. It's a dream of Alex's. But that's not the kind of like, I feel like all my life, since I like got out of high school, like I've been working towards a goal or something, you know? And I think in the middle of taking care of Boo Radley, like my goal was making sure he was as healthy as he possibly could. And now that that's gone, and I have not gone without having a dog like my entire life. The whole time we've ever lived here, we've had a dog. It's very silent, and so I'm with my thoughts a lot, which is probably why this vlog is so crazy. And I'm like, what's your next big thing? And I'm not talking about a house redo. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about even writing a book. Like, I'm not even talking about massive weight loss journey. I don't know. Like, I don't know what my next big thing is supposed to be. You know, for a while, it was fixing our marriage. Our marriage is good. You know, for a while it was paying off the house so we would feel secure and stable financially, you know? That's done. It was always working towards having savings. That's done. And retirement, you know? And it was... I don't know. It's just like one day I woke up and everything's good, and maybe it's just, I don't know, and I think that sounds stupid to complain about, but I don't know that I know how to be content and just live. And I feel like I've always been, it's the next thing, right? It's the next thing. And I also find myself like, you know, I said in here earlier that it'll probably be next summer or early fall that I get a dog. I'm not even sure yet about that. Like, I don't even feel certain about that yet. I don't feel 100% about getting a dog at all. You know, I thought that it would be a couple weeks after. I mean, today's 2 weeks. Tonight will be 2 weeks that Boo Radley's passed away. I thought by now I would start looking at stuff. I have a little bit, but like just like skimmed through it and then I'm done. Like, I don't have any desire to, I don't know. I really think I'm grieving the loss of this little guy, and not only him, but the era of the dogs that we had so much more than I really am giving it credit to. And I know I'm rambling a lot in this vlog tonight, but this is just where I'm at. I just, because if I say I'm not motivated, then I think a lot of people will be like, oh, he's got burnout. I don't feel burnout. I love what I do. I feel blessed. I mean, seriously, I have friends of mine that every day that I talk to them, they're like, I don't want to go to work, but I have to, and I hate my boss, and I have to work a double, and I just stand on my feet, and they work at a factory or a restaurant or whatever, and they don't like anybody they work with, and I think, I get to work from home, I get to make, I mean, I have a blessed life. I love doing this. I love talking to you guys. You guys are so sweet, you're so kind to me. I mean, even that, right? It's not about that. It's about all of it. She's come undone. She didn't know what she was headed for. I don't know. Is this the bad? I think this is the bad lip balm. I think this is the powdered sugar one. I don't even care. Does anybody relate to what I'm saying right now, or am I just talking total madness? I feel like I'm talking total madness a little bit. I'll probably like, you know, I'm such a venter. This is the other thing, right? Is that I'm such a venter that candle smells so good, by the way, that once I get all this stuff out, it's like a therapy session. Once I, like when I have my therapy sessions, I always am like, at the end, he's like, you know, I don't feel like I gave you a lot of like, I'm like, no, that was so helpful. Like, and I just talked. I'm just like, for 45 minutes. I just need to get it out, right? So I'll probably feel so much better. Like when I get done with this vlog, I'll be like, yes, that didn't make any sense, but God, I feel so much better, you know? I don't know. I just feel like I need some big thing to look forward to in my life. Some big thing to work towards, you know? I could do what I'm doing now with YouTube for the next 30 years of my life on 7 channels and be completely content. Listening to audiobooks, watching TV shows, taking a couple trips a year with my husband. What a blessed life that is. But that's not who I'm programmed to be inside. I'm programmed for the next big thing, you know? I don't know what that is. I know it's not, I was, you know, last night I was like, well, maybe you go back to school, get a degree in something else, in art or something, because I'm no artist, you know? I was like, no, I don't have any desire to go back to school. I like working from home. I don't know what it is. I don't know what my next big thing is. I know that there'll be several people in the comment section will be like, what you should do is what do you... I think I need to talk to my therapist about it. I think I'm just feeling a little bit, I think this is a transition period in my life. You know, I talked about that in a Peterisms video not too long ago, that like, 35 going into 36 was a huge transition year for me. You know, my mom, I got out of a relationship that I'd been in for 6.5 years. I resigned from my position from a job that I thought I would be at for the rest of my life, that I was at just short of 13 years, but I thought I would be there for the rest of my life. My mom passed away. I moved. I got into a new relationship with Alex. I didn't know that I really knew how to grieve appropriately my mom's passing. And I felt like I was on steady ground. I don't feel like that. I felt lost. I mean, I could have told you that. Like, during that whole year period, even when I started dating Alex, I felt lost. Like, I didn't know if I wanted to be here or in Colorado, or I didn't even care. Just let's, you know, load up the car and move somewhere. I didn't care where I just felt lost. I didn't know where I was supposed to be. I didn't know what the world was supposed to mean. None of it made sense to me. I just felt lost. I don't feel like that at all. I feel lost in that I don't know what the next big thing is in my life, but I don't feel lost as far as desperate and lost, and it's just like, there's no point. Like, I don't feel like that at all. This all started with me talking about waking up and not feeling like super motivated in the morning. I think maybe we'll start with that problem first. I don't know. Maybe it's just like something with my mornings has changed the older that I've gotten up. Does anybody relate to that? Like, you wake up in the morning, you just don't want to do anything. But I also know that I don't want to stay in bed. Like, I'll look at the clock and I'll be like, you've been in bed too long, you need to get out of bed. So I get out of bed. And then, you know, like right away, if I get into something, like it's usually like making the bed. I know this is going to sound silly, but like making the bed, starting a load of wash, like that really kind of helps me get my day started. And then I'm like, okay. And then I like pick out a t-shirt. I'm like, which video off my list, which I was going to make my list while I was sitting here talking to you guys for tomorrow. But like, which video off your list are you going to make first? And then I start that, you know, I don't know. It's hard to know on one hand that I have the most amazing life in the entire world, because I do, you know, I mean, I have everything that I always wanted in my life. Do I wish that my dog was still here? Sure. Do I wish some other things in the world were different? Sure. But I have a really amazing life, you know, and I'm very grateful for that. And, you know, Tanya and I were talking about this idea of I get to, you know, and sometimes that pisses me off and sometimes I like that idea, you know. A lot of people in recovery talk about I get to, getting to the point of saying I get to. Not like when you say, well, I have to go to work today, but you say I get to go to work today, right? Like, that's gratitude. I know that a lot of people are really like, oh, don't, because Tanya and I were talking about that. It's like, don't start with me with that BS. There's certain days that I don't want to hear about it, right? Like, well, I get to go to the doctor, because there's some people in the other countries that they can't go to a doctor. They can't afford health care, right? Like, they can't afford to even go see a doctor. But we get to, I get to go to a doctor, or I get to go to get my eyes checked, or I get to go to therapy tomorrow, right? Like, those are get tos. I don't know where I'm like, on one hand, I feel so grateful for this amazing life that I have. Not, like I said, that I'm not sad that Boo's gone. I think it's the ending of, I think this is the transition. Okay, so this is what I was going to say. On one hand, I feel very grateful for this life that I have. On the other hand, I'm feeling this is where the lack of motivation comes from. What's next? What now? If that makes sense. I feel sad sometimes, but not depressed. I feel unmotivated at times, but not burnout. But the overwhelming question to me is, what's next? Like, what now? What's the next big thing that you're going to do? You know, is it getting a dog? Is it a huge trip that you're going to take? What's next? I feel like I'm lingering there right now, you know, and it doesn't feel like a trip to me, and it doesn't feel like a dog to me. It doesn't feel like writing a book or redoing the house. I don't know what it is. I can't figure it out. Like, I can't figure it out. Like, I think that's, and that's, it's like I got to this point to my life where I like love my life, but I'm having such a hard time. It's like, remember when I used to talk about how I have a hard time just like sitting, I know this vlog is making no sense today. Like, I'm just in my head like, should I even post this? But I'm going to post it because it's just my thoughts. But it's like, do you remember when I used to say like I couldn't watch a TV show? I was so jealous of Alex because he could just binge watch a TV show, but I didn't have like the patience to just sit there and watch it. It's like, now that I have this life that I'm completely content with, and I think that part of it is that when Boo was here and he was healthy, I like have the full picture. And I mean, sometimes you don't appreciate what you had until you're gone. It's gone, right? Like, a lot of people say that. I think I didn't know really truly how fantastic my life looked like until Boo was gone. And he was a dog and he was a pet, and I understand all that. And a lot of people have lost a lot more than I've ever lost. I totally get that. I'm not saying anything about that. What I'm saying is, I think it shifted my perspective a little bit. Like, you really had it so good and you still do, you know? But then I don't know what to do next. I'm like just struggling with that right now, you know? I don't know, I'll figure it out. But that for me is like why I put like one foot in front of the other. Because people will be like, just don't make videos for 4 or 5 days. Like, that's not super healthy for me. Like, that just is not super healthy for me. You know, like, last night earlier in the day, I didn't want to walk. And then I was like, no, you should walk because this is your commitment. And you said you're going to walk. So if you walk tonight, then, you know. And then I started walking, listening to this audiobook. Then I was really in the audiobook. Then I was like, I can't wait till tomorrow night to walk. So that inspires me to walk the next day. You know, when I make videos and I make one video that makes me want to make another one because I have so much fun doing it that I want to do another one and I want to do another one. Me taking 3 or 4 days off could lead to me just taking a month off, you know? And so And for me, it's not always staying busy, but it's about doing something and being productive and getting something done. That then I think that leads to me sitting in the chair at the end of the night and just being like, oh, well, now I can relax and just enjoy myself because I feel like I actually did something during the day, you know? I don't know. This is totally rambly. Now, when I come back on here tomorrow and I say, oh my God, I feel so great, and like me talking about everything like really helped, because I don't want anybody to be worried and be like, oh my God, what is going on with Peter? I don't know. I feel like, you know, this is what I was going to say. Boo passing away was also the end to Boo, Tucker, and PP, which for a very long period of my life was, even when Alex was gone at work, you know, all day long, was like me with the three of those little guys. And then Alex would come home and it would be the five of us. And it was this little pack that they had forever. Boo passing away, no matter, the camera stopped, no matter what dog we get next, we'll not know that little pack that we had. As somebody that has huge attachment issues and, you know, all that is very emotional, like, I think that ending of that era for me, I think that I'm grieving appropriately. I think this is where I'm stuck. I think I'm grieving appropriately Boo Radley's passing. Or at least it feels like I am. I don't know that I am grieving appropriately the ending of that era, of what is now a transition period. I think that's where the what next comes from. That for so long, it was Alex and I and these three little dogs. Even when Boo was here, we would talk about PP and Tucker all the time, as if they were still alive. So it just, even though they had passed away, it still felt like they were apart. You know, we would tell stories and, you know, and then when it was just Boo and Alex and I mean, that was still a lingering part of that little pack that those little dogs had. So I think that I'm appropriately grieving Boo Radley's passing, but I don't know that I'm appropriately grieving the passing of that period of my life, if that makes sense. It's like, you know, like when you, like, I can remember resigning from my position and I was like equally excited for my future, but also sad because I had like every day gone to work with those people. I loved them, you know, they were really close friends of mine. And I knew that no matter how much we said we're going to stay in touch and do all this kind of stuff, that with some people it would happen and with other people it wouldn't. That you just drift apart. That's nature, or that's natural, right? And that is exactly what happened. Some people I stayed closer with and some people I didn't. And so even though it was a transition period, even though I was excited to go and try new things, at the same time I was very sad to leave. It was bittersweet. It's very similar to that. It's like I know that new things are coming. I think the other thing too was like, this morning when I was laying in bed, I was thinking about, like, so many people in my life were like, Peter, I really think you need to get another dog. And I'm like, I just don't feel it. I'm not there yet, right? And I was like, Boo lived to be 15. If I get a dog next summer, I'm going to be 53 years old. If that dog lives to be 15, I'm going to be 68. And I know that there's some people out there that are 68 watching this vlog. Like, that feels really old to me, right? Like, if I even make it there. My mom passed at 64. So the reality is that this next dog that I get will probably be my last dog. And I'm nearing the end of my life. Even though I still feel really young. Like Tanya said to me on the phone last night, I said something and she goes, oh my God, I forget, you know, that you're still so young sometimes. My mom passing early, like, really screwed with me. Like, my mom dying at 64, I look at things like in relation to, I might only have 12 more summers left, or this might be my last dog, you know? I mean, I could live to be 100. My dad's side of his family lives very, very long, you know? My dad is 84 and still, like, I mean, he's got some health issues, but he does really great, you know? And so I could live to be in my 80s, you know? I don't know. I feel like I got all this stuff in my head and yes, I think I need to get out of this house on Wednesday and go with Caroline and drive around a little bit. I think that is the answer. I think the answer is yes, Peter, you need to get out of here and you need to go drive around with Caroline for a little bit. Can you see I've been like in my head too much? tomorrow I'll be like, you know what? I don't know what I said yesterday in the vlog, but I feel much better today. So anyway, whew. Mornings are a slow start for me. I guess that's what I meant to say about a half an hour ago. I'm struggling finding motivation in the mornings, which led me to say, I don't really know what I'm doing with my life right now. I don't, you know? It's like, on one hand, like I said, I feel very, very blessed. But on the other hand, I don't know what's next. And I think I'm not grieving this transition period of like this lost era of my life, you know? I think Alex is doing a better job talking about it than I am. I just kind of go silent when he starts talking. I just don't really know even, I don't know, like I don't think I'm in denial about it, but it's almost kind of like, it just doesn't seem real to me. You know, like, I mean, it seems like it's been a really long time since PP's passed away, you know? December will be 5 years. Tucker's been gone for 2.5 years and Boo Radley's been gone for 2 weeks, but it seems like it's been a really long time since PP has passed away. I think between now and the end of the year, I think one of the things that I really need to work with my sponsor and my therapist on, and I really need to start thinking a lot about myself, is like, what do I want the rest of my life to look like? I think it's a really valid question I have to start asking myself. Like, what are things that I want to do with my husband? What are things that I want to do by myself? Ask Alex, what are things that you want to do with me? You know, what are things that we want to do together? Not just house redos, but what are things we want to experience together? What are trips we want to take? What are trips that I want to do on my own, you know? Do I want to write a book? Is it important for me to write a book? Do I want to start something else? You know, is it... You know, what do I want to change up with YouTube? You know, starting the Peter Watches TV channel, incidentally, has been one of the happiest decisions I've ever made on YouTube, weirdly enough. I don't know why. It seems weird, but like, I started it off as doing reality TV, and I love that channel. I have so many ideas because I watch so many TV shows. You know, it's like, I don't know, maybe it's just like I need to like switch things up a little bit. It's like, you know, like when like people are trying to get like a... You know, you watch those treasure movies, and it's like they've got like a box, and they're trying to like figure out the lock to it, like the Rubik's Cube, and they can't figure it out, and then somebody comes in, and they're just like click, 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 and it opens. It's like that's what I feel like. I'm trying to like figure out all these different things, and I can't. I don't know. I think that the rest of this year, going maybe towards my sobriety birthday, because I'll be 30 years sober. I think that's probably another part of it too. You know, I used to like really struggle with like the last 2 months before my sobriety birthday. I have been thinking a lot in the last couple weeks about like, fuck, like I'm gonna be sober 30 years. 30 years. 30 years I'll be sober if I make it to December 17th. That's a long time. I think it's time for me to start asking myself, what does the next 30 years look like? I think the first 30 years was you building yourself up to where you're at now. Having a solid marriage, having a home, taking care of dogs, building a career, doing all this. What do you want the next 30 years of your life to look like, Peter? I think that's the question that I need to ask myself. I think, you know, since the accident, I've learned to just put one foot in front of the other. I think well, I mean, there's a lot of things I can say about that, but I can't live in remorse for the rest of my life with that, right? And I'm not going to live in remorse for the rest of my life for that. I can't change what happened. And I think that from the accident to like the anniversary in February of this year, I was really stuck. And maybe that's part of it too, is that I don't feel as stuck now, especially after talking to his mom. And like that conversation was so powerful that I feel like, but I didn't really like fully accept it. It took a while after the conversation, but then she reiterated what my therapist was saying, what friends of mine were saying, what my sponsor was saying, Alex, everybody. And I was like, okay, all these people are saying the same thing to you. You got to live your life. You got to, you know, you got to keep going. Like, and so I think I finally did accept it, but now I don't know what that looks like, you know? So I think that that's the question I have to ask myself going forward is, and part of that might just be acceptance with that this is, you know, I think like one of the things that's hard, I haven't talked a lot about this on here. You know what? I'm going to talk about this for a little bit. One of the things that's really hard is that there have been in my life, okay, since my life has profoundly changed. I don't drive. I don't hardly ever leave the house. There have been so many people. No. There have been a few people in my life that have really showed up. And I'm not even going to name them because I know who they are and you guys know who they are, okay? There's been a few people in my life, I would say actually more than the people that showed up, that I feel like I've been forgotten by. That I don't hear from, they don't check in on me, that they don't ever, and haven't ever, in 2.5 years, almost 3 years now, been like, would you like to go get a pop, or want to go up to the store, or will you go out to dinner, you know, they've never checked on me, you know? And I'm not talking about people that I talk about in my videos, because y'all know I talk about the same people in my videos that I'm friends with, and they've all showed up for me. But that's been hard, right? And so I think coming up on 3 years of the anniversary of the accident, what I realize is my life's not changing. It's not like tomorrow I'm going to wake up in 6 months and there's going to be a car in the driveway and I'm back to driving again. Those days are done. I've made the decision I'm never going to drive again. I'm never going to drive again. And it's not like the condition of my life is going to change. I might meet some new friends. I might not, you know? And so it's accepting my life as it is. And I think that I've really struggled with that for a while. I think it's why I talk a lot about, like, I don't leave the house a lot, and I don't do this, and people are like, well, you should take an Uber here, and you should take an Uber there. Well, I don't really want to take an Uber sometimes, you know what I mean? It's like, I don't know. And so I think it's a lot of just, this is what my life looks like. And I have a blessed life. I have an amazing blessed life. On top of still being here, right? Like, on top of all that, I have a blessed life. And sometimes I'm very thankful for the smallness of it. But as somebody that all my life has worked towards the next big thing, I think I'm still struggling with the just living inside of being content with having a very small life and being okay with that. Like, I feel like there always should be what's next, and I don't know what that is. So I don't know. So maybe what I need to focus on between now and my sobriety birthday is like, what do the next 30 years of my sobriety look like? What is the last day? What does the last part of my life look like? What's next for me? You know, what do I want to do? What's next? And not just for me. I think everybody should ask themselves that. Those are questions I asked myself when I got sober. What do you want to make up? What do you want from this? You know, I made a deal with God sitting in a meeting, and I said, God, if this is what you want from me, I've shared this before. If this is what you want from me, fine. But this is going to be a medium for other things. And when I say that, what I believe of that is that me getting sober allowed me to have this marriage, to have these dogs, to have friendships in my life, to have YouTube, to be able to have written a book and, you know, work in a treatment program and get my master's degree. It was a medium for other things. I think maybe it's time for me to ask the next question, you know, what now? It got me here. What now? What's next? I don't know. And I don't know what's next. It's scary and that's exciting at the same time. You know, when you wake up one day and you realize that the world is open to you and the only limitations, I mean, I don't have any kids. We don't have any pets. If I told Alex tomorrow, I want to go to, you know, Thailand for 3 weeks, he could work remotely from Thailand. If I said to him, I want to take a week and go to a retreat by myself, he would be like, I think that would be great for you. I mean, the world is completely open. I just have to figure out what I want it to look like. I know this isn't changing. I'll be vlogging and making videos till the day I die. It's just getting motivated in the morning some days. I mean, I don't think that's a weird feeling, you know? It feels weird saying that. Like, if I say it, then it's like, oh, people are gonna think that I don't wanna make videos anymore. But I think probably most of you are like, oh, I don't wanna take my kids to school, or I don't wanna make breakfast or dinner tonight, or I don't wanna go to work. It doesn't mean you don't love those things. It just means maybe for that day you don't feel like it. And some days, I'm just struggling, or recently I've been struggling with getting started in the morning, and the battery is dying. So, actually, let me go get another battery so I can end this. I don't even know what time it is. Hold on just a second. Okay, I'm back. Oh my God, you guys, it is past 7:30 and I haven't even started my walk yet. And so to get the vlog rendered and then started uploading means I'm not gonna start walking till like 8 tonight, which is late. So I'll probably take a short walk tonight. It's kind of windy and kind of cold outside. But anyway, on that long ramble, does anybody relate to what I'm saying? Please, somebody, just one person in the comment section be like, yeah, Peter, I relate to you. And then tomorrow we can all commiserate over how the fact that we don't feel like that tomorrow. You know, this is how it is for me. Like I said, I'm a venter. And so like, when I get done with this, I'll be like walking, I'll be like, oh my God, I feel so good. I got that all off my chest. Now I feel motivated. What's next? Nothing, just watching TV and sitting in your living room, and that's enough, you know? And then I'll have gotten it out. I don't know. Sometimes I just have to get stuff out. But if anybody relates to what I'm saying, let me know. I don't even know what I said now. Woo! Anyway, okay, so I can get on my vlog, so I can get on my walk, and I can walk tonight and listen to my audiobook for a little bit, and then I can also get, because I want to get this, you know, posted before it's, you know, 2 o'clock in the morning, and get back here and take a shower and watch my shows and stuff. I'm going to get off here now. So I hope that you guys are having a magically amazing Monday. Happy Veterans Day. For those of you that served our country, thank you for your service, and for those friends and family members that, you know, had loved ones that served for us, thank you for your support as well. I hope that you guys, like I said, are having a magically amazing Monday. If nobody else has told you this today, I love you guys, and whoo, now it's starting to come over me. It felt good. That felt good to talk about all that. I didn't expect it when I got on here tonight, but I'm sure there's a few of you that think I'm crazy, right? Well, I probably am. We're all just, what's she saying, Psycho? We're all just a little bit crazy or something, isn't it? Isn't that Psycho? I don't know. Anyway, I love you guys. I'm getting off here now, and this is why I can't vlog inside. If I vlog outside, we hear all the stories of old Christmases. If we vlog inside, we get real philosophical. So tomorrow, we're doing it outside. Anyway, I love you guys so much, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye. Love ya!